So yeah, Ghostbusters. I gotta say, one of my favorite comedies of all time. I mean, just a lot of good lines. Great performances all around.
I know a guy who is a huge fan of the Ghostbusters.
Yeah, yeah, and I am as well.
It's his name. It starts with a B and ends with N, and he's on the show all the time, but not right now.
Brahmin.
Yes.
Ah.
No, it's Ben.
Well, yeah, Ben wanted to be here, everybody, but he is unfortunately sick. We've had a lot of we've heard a lot of press here recently about this new Ghostbusters movie, all female Ghostbusters, and I gotta say, man, I really don't care if it's women. I mean, that's one thing I've heard a lot of people say. It's like, oh, it's all women. It's horrible.
I personally like women. Just saying.
No, I love women. I mean, honestly, I'm a heterosexual male. People are gonna say, "Oh, these guys are cis." I'm not. I hate people like this. It's like, okay, you're not accepting of people who are heterosexual. And I was gonna say, what's all this crap about acceptance that you keep trying to jam down people's throats? I'm all for acceptance. I'm an egalitarian. I mean, honestly, I don't care what religion you claim. I don't care the color of your skin. I don't care what's between or not between your legs. I don't care what was originally between your legs, but yet you later replaced it with something else. I don't care. I don't. People are allowed to live the lives that they wish. And thankfully, for the most part in this country, you are allowed to do whatever you want, compared to other countries where if you even think about doing stuff like that, they cut off your head and put it on a spike and say, no, you're not allowed to do that. After you're dead, they're like pointing at your head that's on a spike and everything. But, a lot of people have been giving this a lot of people have been giving this reboot a lot of smack. And if you're going to be critical of it, a lot of people were critical about a lot of things. Like, for instance, I thought John Wick was going to suck. And then I saw John Wick.
That movie was pretty legit.
That movie is damn legit.
I mean, that's like if somebody killed my dog, that's about the reaction I would have.
Yeah. At first, I was like, oh, oh God, they killed a dog and everything. It's like, oh, that's not gonna. I mean, honestly, who would do that? And then all of a sudden, when you see the connection he had with his dog and the reason why he had that connection with his dog, you're like, oh God, that's a human connection, kind of like what I have with my dog. And then, yeah, all hell breaks loose. And to me, I think it revitalized. For me, I think a lot of people are going to take notes from that movie and shoot action films like that from now. I hope they do, because that close, tight in action, like shaky cam, like close up and everything. I don't like that. There's some instances where that works to the benefit, but mostly pull the camera back and let show the stunt work, show the leg work that these men have put themselves through.
Also, kudos to whoever trained Keanu in that movie, because I mean he pretty solid.
Guy was on point with it. I mean the gunplay, the physicality that he portrayed with John Wick was really good. And anyway, you see, a lot of people bash the new Ghostbusters movie because it's got women in it. I don't care, as long as it lives up to the original source material, and as long as they, take it serious, then I will not have a problem. Man, all this talk about it, and I was just gonna say, you hear about the trailer.
What about the trailer? Has it really been that long?
Yeah, 1984.
Dang.
I know. Came out before we were born. And yet it's one of the most influential films in our lives.
Sure.
It's a class 4 operation. That's okay. She seems peaceful. My name is Erin Gilbert, Doctor of Particle Physics at...
Exorcist much?
That stuff went everywhere, by the way, in every crack. Very hard to wash off.
We have dedicated our whole lives to studying the paranormal. Now there's sightings all over the city. There are people out there that need our help. Holtzman, you're a brilliant engineer. Aaron, no one's better at quantum physics than you. We can provide a real service.
I'm joining the club. You guys are really smart about this science stuff, but I know New York. And I can borrow a car from my uncle.
You didn't disclose that the vehicle was going to be a hearse.
It's a Cadillac!
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, did you
I'm
want to?
Sorry, I'll let you.
Next time.
Someone is creating a device that amplifies paranormal activity. And we might be the only ones who can stop it.
Holtzman, come on.
The hat is too much, right? Is it the wig or the hat?
There's a bigger picture at hand here. These ghosts can possess the human form.
Oh, that was nasty.
Oh, no, the devil is a liar! Get out of my friend, ghost!
Oh.
Ow, that's gonna leave a mark.
The power of panic compels you!
Ow!
Damn. Bitch slapped the ghost. Okay.
I mean, I think it might be an entertaining movie. It doesn't really feel like Ghostbusters to me, but
No, it doesn't me either, and that's sad.
Well, of course I really didn't know anything about this at all. I haven't really heard much about it. The picture in my head, I thought Sigourney Weaver might come back.
From what I hear, her and a lot of the original cast are going to make cameos.
Oh, okay.
That's what I hear.
Because I feel like I don't know. I feel like they're trying to it seems like they're trying to take everything and like old franchises and not necessarily reboot them, but sort of rebrand them as action movies. Kind of like Ben's criticism of some of the new Star Trek movies.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
which I don't think would really work for Ghostbusters.
No,
because they kind of have this weird cultishness about them that they don't really fit into a single genre very well.
No, they don't, because they're part comedy, they're part mystery. There's a lot of different aspects in film that are covered in Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this, their portrayal of the characters in action and everything, if okay, in the original, the only ones that were physically capable of doing stuff were Winston and Ray. Those were really the only ones that were physically capable of they were the ones with the slime packs. They were the ones that busted down doors and other stuff like that. And I was gonna say Egon was the brains and Venkman was the mouth. I mean that's pretty much what they were. This I really don't know. I mean I see I see the characters that are trying to who's trying to replace whom. I can see. Well, actually, I see kind of a mix in some ways. I see Melissa McCarthy. I see her being kind of like a mix between Ray and Venkman. I see Kristen Wiig. I see her being kind of like the Egon of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Holtzman. Yeah, I forget the name of the person who plays Holtzman. It's gonna.
I started saying it's down there in the description, I believe.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah. Let's see. Kate McKinnon. Kate McKinnon. Okay, Kate McKinnon. I see her as kind of like a newish oddball type of character because they really didn't have that with the original Ghostbusters. They had Venkman pull weird stuff every now and again. The flowers are still standing. In the midst of this battle against Slimer, he's trying to do a tablecloth pull, but
well, also the thing too is the original Ghostbusters. I mean, when you have Bill Murray involved in something, he he's kind of, I mean, he's just on another planet. I mean, Bill Murray is...
Oh, he's an oddball.
When you have something, when he's included in something, it just takes it to a whole other place that, I mean, you can't really reproduce.
No.
And I think, he was a big part of the reception of the Ghostbusters movies.
Well, you see, they had lines for Bill Murray to read, but Bill Murray is an improv king.
Right.
I mean, the guy. Honestly, that whole scene in Caddyshack, where he's like pelting the flowers with the little like fake golf club. That was all improvised.
Mm-hmm.
That was not in the script or anything. They were rolling the cameras and the sound, and he just started messing around,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it. and it was beautiful. You see, little moments like that, they change a lot of things because it's an actor. It's an actor taking the reins and doing something stupendous. Whereas sometimes the actor can take the reins and just run something into the ground. I've seen that happen several times.
Sure.
But with this, I mean, honestly, some of the hate comes from, it's all women and all this. And also, I saw a tweet. Well, I think it was a tweet. It was, girl power, all the women involved in the making of this film, which don't get me wrong, if you're proud of being a woman and all this and all that.
That in itself can be shallow, because if you're only supporting it because the main cast is all women and not because it's well written and well directed and
it's funny.
Yeah.
It honors the source material.
Right.
I mean, if that's not the reason why you're doing it, and you're just doing it just to say, "Oh, women can do this better than they," and I'm just
so
like,
that's just as silly as the opposite, where people don't like it just because they're women. I mean,
it's the two extremes clashing and finding no compromise and no middle ground. I mean,
from what I saw, I think it's going to be a decent action comedy. I don't think it's going to feel like Ghostbusters.
I think that too. Well, it's just like them casting Channing Tatum in the all male side of this.
Are they making another one that's all male?
Yeah, they're making another one that's all male, and I think they're going to pretty much do here was the original idea that Aykroyd, Ramis, and Reitman had for the Ghostbusters franchise. For a long time ago, they were talking about when they were doing Ghostbusters 3, way back, I think 2006, 2007. They were talking about doing like a Ghostbusters Global, where Ghostbusters have actually gone international, and they're actually fighting ghosts. They're actually fighting ghosts on an international level, but they're still grounded in New York.
Right.
Like Venkman is each of them are like chairman and CEO. All the original four.
Right.
Are like chairman and CEO, CFO. Like big important members. And they wanted to do like different teams. Like there would be like spin-off movies set in different parts, set in different parts of the country and everything.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it does, and I like that idea. And I think, the whole thing about shooting Ghostbusters 3 went out the window a couple of years ago when Harold Ramis died.
Sure.
Which Harold Ramis, for the longest time, has been stricken with an illness, had been stricken with the same illness that killed him, and eventually it claimed him at the age of 69, which I was so sad to hear about. But, they still wanted to carry on the franchise in some way, so I think they adapted the story idea of like doing a Ghostbusters Global, and it will be the female side in New York, and maybe Channing Tatum's group somewhere else, like Chicago or Los Angeles or somewhere else. I mean, I don't know. I mean, where Sony's going to go with this, I have no idea. If this flops, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Which it may very well. And I'd hate to see the Ghostbusters go out like that. I mean, I really would, because it's one of my favorite film. A lot of people hate the second one. I thought the second one was pretty good. I thought the second one was pretty. It wasn't up to the par of the first one, but I still got some damn good laughs out of it.
Yeah, a few sequels ever are.
Yeah, but I still got some damn good laughs out of it. And also, you had Bill Murray being Bill Murray. Yeah, back before he went overly Bill Murray. But guys, for those of you out there who don't like this because it's just all women in it, get over yourselves. Honestly, I mean, look, women being in popular films is nothing bad, and also women out there who think, women don't have a place in media like this, and we're carving a place for it, and all this and all that. And it's just like, okay, but is the film gonna be funny? Is the film gonna be good? Is the direction gonna be good? Are the characters gonna be funny? I mean, is the chemistry gonna work? Okay, I will say this. Kristen Wiig and Melissa McCarthy have been in several films together, and together as a comedy duo, they work. They work. And plus, the guy they got directing this, I think, is Paul Feig. Paul Feig is directing this. Yeah, Paul Feig. And Paul Feig, whenever him and Melissa McCarthy work together, it actually is pretty damn funny. I mean, honestly, it was that one movie with her and Sandra Bullock, where she was like a street cop, and Sandra Bullock was an FBI profiler,
Mm-hmm.
and that was really funny. I forget the name of it, but damn, I got a lot of laughs out of that. Also, Bridesmaids was also really funny, and also Melissa McCarthy, whenever she's like the lone main character by herself, her brand of comedy wears thin. It's kind of like how Zach Galifianakis is. Zach Galifianakis, whenever he doesn't have enough chemistry to roll off of, his shtick can run through pretty quickly. Melissa McCarthy is that in the same fashion. It's just like when I saw Bridesmaids, I thought she was hilarious. When I saw her in Tammy, I was like, oh, she's not that funny in this, and it's because she didn't have enough to roll off of, and she didn't have a good script to do anything with. But whenever she has Paul Feig working with her, I mean, it's just like Spy. Spy last year was absolutely hilarious. That's one of my favorite comedies of last year, and nobody talked about it. I mean, it was her, Rose Byrne, Jason Statham, Jude Law. I mean, it was hilarious. It was her as a spy, and everyone was just like, oh, you're going to give the mission to Crazy Cat Lady over there? And it's like, why does everyone call me Cat Lady? I'm allergic to cats. And it's like, really? I thought someone said you like cats. It's just like, no, I don't like cats. Whoever said that? And it's just like they have so many jokes thrown in there, and so many funny situations thrown in there, and they all work, and most of them work tremendously. Some of them have flat payoffs, but the overall setup and everything, you know where they're going with it, and it's still funny. But yeah, you see, whenever Melissa McCarthy has Paul Feig with her and has decent people to work with, which she's got 3 SNL alumni, and I know people say, oh, Leslie Jones isn't an SNL alumni, she's just a writer, and I'm like, no, she's an SNL alumni. She's on the show quite a bit. As a matter of fact, she was in the Kylo Ren undercover boss thing.
Well, I started to say, if you're going to write comedy, you have to be funny.
Yeah, and Leslie Jones is hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I've been watching her on several different shows. I've been waiting for her to like have a break to where she's more in the limelight, because she's absolutely hilarious. It's just like what's that one movie, Lottery Ticket, where she was in that. She was hired part of a bodyguard group, and this one woman, a gold digger, comes up to the guy who just won the lottery ticket. He's like, "I want to have your baby," and she's like, "I know your mama. You better get back." It's just like, and you see, she's funny. She's intimidating in some ways, but it's funny. It's funny how she intimidates, and also in this, her slapping the shit out of Melissa McCarthy. That was great. Love that. You see. Comedy's a funny thing. See what I did there? Well, I should say comedy is an unsteady thing. I mean, you may think something is funny, but unless you gauge it correctly. And we talked about this, with Faulty Towers.
Yeah,
Ben and I talked about this with Faulty Towers. And sometimes some things work, sometimes things don't. And you have to recognize what is funny and what is not funny. I mean, in your mind, something may be funny, but you can't be the only judge. You have to let other people see it and gauge for themselves what is funny.
Yeah, comedy is largely a social construct, and it can get weird because I think the oldest recorded joke in all of human history is a Sumerian joke, and it's something about it doesn't make any sense to us, but apparently it was funny back then. It's something about a wife sitting in her husband's lap and farting in his lap, and it's just like, what? But apparently it's a joke.
But that's social. But it's based upon the social construct
Right.
of what existed in Sumeria at that time.
But I really curious about what.
No, I know.
Yeah, like
and we
it
will.
just-
And
it's bizarre. We'll never know.
We'll never know unless we develop time travel and are able to go back in time to that and actually study the civilization more. Yeah, that's one thing.
So comedy can be just flat out bizarre.
It can be bizarre sometimes, and whatever's funny to you may not be funny to someone else. And you have to find things that work, and you have to find things that some people can gravitate towards, and then you can also point out stuff that people never realized was funny in the first place. It's just like oh gosh, there was a good example I had in my head, and now it's gone. Realizing something's funny when a lot of people, when at first you don't, and then you're just like, wait a second, holy crap, I never noticed that before. And you start laughing because, oh crap, for so long you thought it was like this, but it's actually this.
Sure.
And, you can find stuff like that. I mean, the world's a crazy place. I mean, you can find plenty of examples of that. But
This show included.
this show, we're nothing special, guys. We're just a bunch of guys who sit here on a couch, talk about nostalgia, and talk about.
I feel like anthropologists are going to find this like 500 years from now and just cry.
Yeah, this was the wasted youth of. Well, I was gonna say you can't really blame us. You just blame the internet. It's turning everybody into a bunch of social recluses that just love to spout ignorant, racist, misogynistic, feministic, just crap on everybody. Yeah, I can understand why people hate the YouTube comment section sometimes, because it's just like this right here on this video. I see both of the extremes. I see, the ultra misogynist, and I see the ultra feminist, and it's just like, and then there's like the small group in the middle who's just like, oh come on guys, can't we get along? No. And it's just like, okay, so we're just gonna keep fighting. All right. Okay, all well and good. Also, another thing too is there was a little bit of a discussion about this earlier on. Realizing the pay gap. In truth, in most jobs, like working class everyday jobs like you have and like I had and everything, there really isn't a pay difference, is there?
It's essentially whatever you agree to work for. I mean, it's all voluntary. No one's putting a gun to your head and saying, "Hey, you have to work for my company."
And because you lack a male genitalia, you have to take a pay cut.
Yeah, I mean that's not. I've never really seen.
Well, I haven't seen it either.
Anyway.
And as a matter of fact, a lot of the people I worked with,
and there are factors that contribute to that, like what degrees you pursue. Because
what is your expertise?
If you pursue an engineering degree, you're probably going to make more money than someone that pursued a studio art degree. I can pretty much guarantee it.
Okay, yeah, you got a point there.
So it's like,
well,
it's like, there's like, I got nothing. It's just like, if you want to study something useless like studio art, you're going to be working in retail. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you guys.
And I was going to say, it really doesn't matter, it really doesn't matter what gender you are or anything. You generally get paid the same. And I was going to say, a lot of people the only place that it really exists is in professional sports and Hollywood. And here's the thing, people want to say, female actresses deserve to get paid exactly the same as their male counterparts whenever they're in films with them. It's like, okay, here's the thing. You look at the box office totals of each individual person that's in that movie. It's just like Amy Adams was mad about not getting paid exactly the same as Christian Bale and Bradley Cooper when she did American Hustle. I was gonna say Amy Adams' box office numbers have outside of The Man of Steel haven't been overly impressive. I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved her in Enchanted and all this and all that, but you look at the films. Christian Bale, Batman, ring a bell?
You can't stop Batman.
No.
They made a whole movie. They're about to come out with the whole movie about Superman not being able to stop Batman. So
yeah, and look,
that's right.
I just don't get. I just don't get it. I mean, honestly, if you want to know where the money is, if you want to know where the pay is, follow the money. I mean, honestly, that's all you got to do. I mean, why does Robert Downey Jr. get paid almost $50 million a movie when he does something for Marvel? It's because every movie that he's been in for Marvel has made over $300 million in the United States alone.
Sure.
And has made nearly $1 billion each worldwide. So, hey, if they got to spend $50 million per movie to get him in their movie,
I mean, it's obviously money well spent because it makes them more money.
of course. I mean, honestly, look at Marvel. Look at Disney's Marvel division. It's huge.
Because I would be thrilled if they paid me $50 million to be Iron Man, but no one's going to come watch the movie.
Well, yeah. I mean, honestly, and same thing. I mean,
Well,
honestly,
all 5 people still watching this video might come watch that movie.
yeah, we're still ranting. And
I don't know how I'm
raving
gonna fit the
26
man bun inside that helmet.
minutes. You'll make a customization.
It's like
You make a customization.
iron bun.
I was gonna say, it could be. I was gonna say you could do like the wave up, kind of like roll it back this way, pin it down, and then roll it up to the front, and then pin it up front. That's probably what you'd have to do every time you get in.
Yeah, but I still want women to date me, so.
I was gonna say you could just release it from the front and do that. I mean, that's you find it weird, but it's how it has to be when you're in the helmet. It doesn't mean like you have to wear it like that all the time. Yeah, so you could still do the man bun. Of course, the man bun is like ultra popular with women nowadays. I don't understand that, but hey, who am I to judge anything? I mean, honestly, I'm in some ways I'm still socially behind in terms of news media and everything. It's just like for the last. I mean, honestly, I didn't hear anything about ISIS for until last year, and for all the time before that, I was just wondering why the hell they were so mad at her.
I mean, ISIS isn't really a social construct. It's more of a political faction.
I know. I'm just joking. I was trying to make a joke there.
Gotcha.
For the longest time, I didn't know why the hell they were so mad at her, and then it's just like actually I told that joke to a few people, and they're just like, and at first they didn't get it, and I'm just like.
I did see a meme someone made about, I think it was somebody saying, I think it was like maybe Trump or something, saying they were going to beat ISIS, and then it was like a hieroglyph. She had her wings out, and she's just like, come at me, bro.
That's good. All right, so we've been going on this for some time, almost 30 minutes, so we're going to end it here. We appreciate you all for tuning in. If you, what do you think about this? Be nice, or at least attempt to be. I mean, there's no way we can actually make you be nice. I mean, this is the internet after all, and you are entitled to free speech. That is until SOPA passes, until the government sneaks it through, and it's just like, oh, no, you don't have rights on the internet anymore. Bye-bye. And, okay. So, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. What do you all think? Do you all think it's going to suck? Do you think people are just being too harsh on it? And also, what do you make of the characters? I mean, honestly, I think it could be interesting. But but we may talk about this later on, maybe hopefully we will be recording when we do. Sometimes we have some of the best conversations and we aren't recording. But well, until then, I guess that's going to do it. Leave a like if you like the video. Hit that subscribe button if you wish to see more. For the Renegades, I'm Nate.
Micah?
And we will see you later, Internet. Peace out.